Hello everyone, this is Zeeebo and welcome back to the last video for the free-to-play mid to end game Dream Realm boss guide. So we are back again with the last boss for today, and that is none other than Skyclops. So for Skyclops damage, I'm currently at the endless mode, which is the last difficulty, but I personally feel that my damage is not the most optimal because I'm lacking, I'll say, like decent AoE methods to bring down the summons ASAP. So for this boss per se, right, the greatest gimmick is actually with regards to the summons. Because the summons not only boost the damage output of the boss but provides a damage immunity on the boss, so you have to quickly remove the summons so that you can jam in more damage when the boss is not damage immune. And in this case, right, this is my team setup, right? So my current team setup is basically me using my best units, right? Oli, Torrent, Smokey, Coco, as well as Merrily. They've all appeared in my previous video. However, if let's say you don't have any sort of AoE prowess, right, your damage output will definitely be a lot weaker. So in this case, I would definitely recommend Cecile if you guys have already built for her, because my Cecile is way too low rank. Merrily does more damage and she remove the summons faster. So depending on your investments, you might want to put in Cecile, right? If you have Cecile at a higher tier, at least at Legendary Plus, or even Mythic Plus, you can definitely use her in a team. So this is what I'll recommend for the more standard players. If you don't have Cecile, right, if you use like other units like Rise is also a pretty decent AoE damage dealer. So this is one case where Rise is actually not bad because Rise skill is very AoE centric, so this allows this unit to quickly remove the summons, allowing you to do more damage. So that is another recommendation that I'll put out. So the other unit which I often use on my other accounts is Scalita. So I don't have Scalita on this account, I'll just put Chirpy. Chirpy represents Scalita. So for Scalita's case, right, once you have the EX weapon unlocked, even without the EX weapon, the AoE ultimate deals quite a bit of damage to the summons as well. So that's one way you can use Scalita to do more damage, as well as fill up the factional bonus for your whole team to get more buffs and do more damage from there. So that's another unit. Obviously, you can jam in other AoE units, but in general, I think most of the AoE units, they are not very decent. The units like Morale, units like Parisa, they are not very good for this boss. So it's not a common unit that people will build up, so I won't recommend them because they are not common. But if let's say you don't have any sort of AoE, you kind of just want to use like the most standard team, then this is one setup you can use. So this setup will allow you to do like maximum damage against the boss, right, with your best units. For example, for my case, this will allow me to do the best damage. So yes, maybe I do less damage against the boss because of the summons, but when I'm able to hit the boss, I'm doing the most damage. So if let's say you don't have any sort of AoE, right, if you don't have like any one of these units, you can just substitute it with Kruger, for example. So this is a team setup where you just do as much damage to the boss as possible when you can hit the boss. Because eventually, even though it takes a while for your unit to single-handedly remove all the summons one by one, you will kill them, right? You will kill all the summons. So during the time where you're able to jam in damage into the boss, that's where you want to do as much damage as possible. So for myself, my best setup, I would say, is not Reina, because my Reina is not M+ yet. So my best setup is the one that I showcased just now, right? Merrily, OD, and then we put in a Coco. So this is my current best setup. Based on your own best setup, you can also run units like Corinne. Corinne has a little bit of AoE, and Corinne is a very good damage dealer. If you build up Shakir, Shakir is also pretty okay in terms of dealing AoE damage, because when you transform into the wolf form, right, he's able to attack enemies in 2 tile range. So that's a little bit of AoE to help you quickly remove the summons as well. Other than that, you can also go the Rowan route if you have more Light Bearer factional bonuses, because Rowan provides you with the ultimate which restores energy. So if your units are able to use their ultimates more, you can combine that with the likes of the Starshot spell to do AoE damage as well. So these are just some suggestions for you guys. In fact, even units like Laika is also pretty decent if you do have the wildest unit build up, because physical defense debuff as well as attack speed buff and her AoE ultimate is also good enough, right, to remove the summons itself. So these are a few suggestions. So with that, right, I'm going to showcase my own team run, and let's start the very first run. So this is with Merrily, right? I'll showcase another run with Cecile to show you guys the difference. So specifically for this account, I can actually upgrade my Cecile to Epic Plus, but I chose to cap her at a lower tier because one of the objective for this account is being Cecileless. So my Cecile is capped at the lowest tier possible, but I'll showcase her nonetheless to showcase the difference it will make on this boss. So right here, all my units are very single target focused, so they have to manually remove the summons one by one, as you guys can see just now. But the thing is, with this setup, right, my unit is basically not dying because I have the heals from Smokey, I have the shield from Coco, and Torrent is protecting Merrily. So all my units will survive, and my goal is to just jam in as much damage to the boss when the boss is not damage immune. So one thing that can definitely improve my damage is upgrading my Merrily's EX weapon. I need about 2 more shards to get her to Mythic Plus. So with that, right, every ultimate my team use will increase her damage output, which will help me do more damage, right, against the summons as well as the boss. So that's one upgrade that I look to do in the near future. That is getting Merrily to her Mythic Plus weapon. But right now, as you guys can see, the clearing is a little slow because I actually have to hit my unit one by one. And unfortunately, at the final few seconds, because of the summons, the laser actually sweep the whole field and then remove Smokey from the equation. So yeah, this is my damage distribution, as you guys can see. So very single target based, Torrent still doing decent damage. Okay, so next one, right, I will use Cecil as an example. So in this case, I'll link Cecil to Torrent because my Cecil is a very low tier Cecil, so her damage output is not as big. But if you have Cecil at a much higher tier compared to me, at this point your Cecil should still be doing decent damage. So that's where you want to continue using Cecil, specifically for this boss, because Cecil summon actually has quite decent AoE. And another thing that can definitely help you kill the summons faster is getting the EX weapon for Smokey, because Smokey's EX weapon actually deals damage over time, and it is actually very sufficient to remove the minions slightly faster, right? So your goal is to remove the minions as fast as possible so that you remove the damage immunity, so you can jam in more damage from there. So over here, the summon is like slamming the floor, so that's the AoE damage. So if I have my CC at a higher tier, the summon will hit harder, and then from there, I will be able to remove the summons faster. So that is the CC effect, at least in this comp. And with CC, it completes my fractional bonuses to 3-2, giving me a little bit more stats. So hopefully this time around, all my units can survive. Okay, based on what I see right now, I am gonna exceed the damage that I did previously. So this boss variance really lies in how fast you can remove the summons. So if your units crit, if your units can remove all these summons ASAP, you can jam in more star shard spell damage, or even just throw in Odie's ultimate a few more times, you're gonna do more damage. Right, so that's the gimmick for this boss. 17 million, not my best damage, but this is the damage distribution. Okay. So as you guys can see, because she's really low tier, so her damage is not looking very optimal. But if for your case, her investment is much higher than mine, for example, if she's M+ for you, feel free to use Cecil to maximize your damage. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this last mid to late game F2P guide for the bosses. If you guys have any other needs for any other guide, do let me know down in the comment section below. And thank you very much for watching. Do remember to like and subscribe to see more, and I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye guys!